Welcome to episode 65 of Snap on This, a Marvel Snap podcast. This week's secret homework, make a seasonal playlist. I'm your host, LaurenWhatevs, here with my usual amazing, sparkling, delightful co-hosts. First up, Ree, how was your week in Snap? And keep it snappy.
All right. Well, this week, keep it snappy. I did. At the beginning of the week, it was a bit of a struggle because, I had started noodling with some stuff and I was facing a lot of mirrors, and a lot of stuff that was fun. And it was just what to play. Hating the meta and trying to beat it is never as fun as just, chasing your dreams, your card dreams, and then just trying to build that. But, there's some metas you can't do that. But then, things settled down a little bit. And I know I was having fun because I was, noodling with 2 new decks. Have a third I put together and haven't even really, gotten around to, play testing. And I brought back an old friend, inspired by, was it first Ghost Rider that got a buff? Maybe it was a while ago to 2-7. My brain is behind on the Snap.
It's pretty recent, that first Ghost Rider.
Okay, excellent.
That's last week or something.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Recent. It's not, I'm many years ago. It's okay, I don't know what time it is. But yeah, so it's really, I'm oh yeah, let me do, that got a little boost. Let me just a small hella. And it was great fun. I won't lie, Stardust just wrecks it. So that's not fun. I mean, sometimes you can outplay one. If they win in too hard in tech, sometimes you don't need to play the hella because, it's kind of a bigs and smalls deck because you've got Ghost Rider, first Ghost Rider, right? But you're always going to play him at a 2-7. I pretty much never shave anything off because I also have Sage in the deck and Iron Man. And I'm just I'm pretty much always saving it and hitting it on one of those two. Which is perfect because they build this deck to the new Hella rules are kind of fun of there can only be one at every energy, a little Hella's arc of cards. And so I'm okay, well, a Sage is easy to discard with a Silver Samurai. Right? So we have Ghost Rider and Silver Samurai to discard those. Iron Man and Sage are prime targets for that. A 3 and a 5 to bring back. And I love. In there? Yes, I have Swordmaster in there, of course, because that also hits.
Yeah.
Right? It also hits the Sage and the Iron Man. Black Cat, of course, because she's just one of the big statted discard cards. Easy to fit in. And here's the thing. If it's an inopportune time to play her, it's the only one cost in the deck. So you just bring her back with Hella later, no bigs. And I love, this is the tech in the deck, is Moon Knight and Silver Samurai as well, right? You're trying to get your opponent to discard their people. I love how much people don't think about that, because they'll snap you and stuff because they drew their combo, and it's was it Arnim Zola that you needed? It's just really fun because you can take out a lot of stuff that way. Okay, so Fenris Wolf. Because you're making them discard stuff. And it's fun. Oh, man, I took a screenshot. I wish I didn't think of it till just now. I would have prepared this because I know I have a screenshot or something fun. I had a super clever Fenris Wolf play where, I won by, bringing back their discard in, exactly the right order. Or, it was a Shang or something. I don't know. You know what I mean? Whatever I got of theirs. Maybe it was a Shang. It won me the game, and it's that's got to be so infuriating for them, which kind of makes it more fun, to be honest. So ghostwriters here because, you got to have a backup because, like, Hella, Hella arrives when she means to. So, and then I think I just didn't mention one, stature's in here because we have 2 cards to make them discard stuff. So, like, when do you not want to play a 1/7? Also a backup target to hit with, like, a Swordmaster or something, just not to, like, waste a good discard. And then Gore. Because Gore also is a great target. It's your 3rd target for, like, Ghostwriter, first Ghostwriter for Silver Samurai. Because even though it shows big in your hand, it still counts as that -1. It's always going to hit it, and that's your 6 cost that you bring back with Hella. So it's kind of this perfect, like, everything you discard, like, Hella can, like, bring back, and, unless they have a perfectly timed Stardust on you, it beats a lot of things. It's really fun. It's just fun to play. Okay, so that was one thing I revived. I haven't even changed it from whenever I last messed around with it. And then the other, there's the 2 new decks I was noodling with. One I'm saving for later because it involves Spider-Punk. But the other deck was also inspired by the OTA, by Debris' boost to 7. And shout out to Wombat Combat, who also had a similar...
The original good egg.
Idea. Right, the original good egg. It's called Rocks and Squirrels, because it is a deck with all the rocks. It's so fun. Like, it's got... to get your rocks, obviously, Debris and Rhino, which are just, like, great big cards, Now that they're actually big enough stats now that, like, they're worth playing if you're boosting the rocks. Cer3bro, that was the card I originally forgot until, like, I saw Wombat Combat, who went, like, a different, like, zombie Galacti direction than I went. But I had forgotten Cer3bro was also great in this. And then Patriot, of course, great with Rocks and Squirrels. Mole Man. Okay, Mole Man is actually fantastic in this because, like, everything else that I haven't mentioned is a 4-up card. So 1, you don't mind hitting it because you probably aren't going to have the energy to, like, play out all these big cost cards. And it's really great to have, like, a 1/5 or a 1/6, even if you hit Mockingbird, because if you draw Mockingbird, you hope she's a lot cheaper from all your Rocks and Squirrels on the board. But if you hit her with Mole Man, that's still a 1/6 you're getting out of her. Super value with Mockingbird in this deck. And, like, a 1/4 to 6 rock that you're beefing up with a Patriot, or I haven't mentioned Khazar, Blue Marvel, Onslaught, because that's just a great way to, like, people, like, don't expect Onslaught as much as they expect other things anymore. So and once again, it's another big card that you can drop or you can use to hit Moment. And then my last addition that I put in was Valkyrie, because why not? Most of your stuff, your benefits that you're getting are from, or from ongoing. So, like, you're unaffected. It's another Mole Man target, a 1/5, and it also pairs nicely with a Mole Man rock, a little Valk Mole Man rock action. So, that has been very fun for me. And that's what I've been up to this week. Excited to talk about spiders later, actually. Okay.
Awesome. Those decks both look interesting, and I'll try the Rocks and Squirrels one. I don't know if I'll try the Hella one, although I really do appreciate how, like, carefully crafted and balanced it is. Maybe I'll try it. Ben.
It's Hella in her lane, moisturized, chakras balanced.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Ben, how was your weekend snap? And keep it snappy.
My weekend snap, endeavoring to keep it snappy, as I so often do. It's been all right. I did some snap things. let's see what all happened. I competed in the Golden Gauntlet, and that was good fun. I did pretty well. Played the surfer deck that I described on the program last week. I wish I'd played a little better. I was doing quite well for the first 4 rounds, and then after I lost the first one, I got a bit flustered, and there was a really frustrating play where I omniversal presence to Baxter building that I shouldn't have, and it and then I was pretty flustered. But even with all that, I finished like 40 something. I feel like I took a screenshot or something. I don't know, 41 or 43rd or something out of, I don't know, 185 or something.
Out of 185, who made it there by placing high in other tournaments. Cream of the crop, 41st or whatever is very good.
And the really frustrating thing is that, like, I was sick as a dog, and I feel like I could have done a little better. I feel like I could have brought it a little harder. And maybe you can hear that I am still, in fact, sick as a dog. This started like right after we wrapped recording last week, so it's been a real fun week for me. But in that time, I've had plenty of time to play Snap. I got to spend some quality time with Ezekiel Sims, as I'm sure we'll get into later. I've not been streaming much because constantly coughing and blowing my nose and just being disgusting, and nobody wants to see that. So hasn't been a lot of streaming. What else has happened? I mostly want to talk about things that we're going to talk about later. Well, I don't know. I've been watching some good TV. Maybe, yeah. I don't know. I'm sure we'll talk about all the things we need to talk about, and yeah,
that's totally fine to keep it super snappy. And I'm sure I speak for the audience as well as myself when I say I appreciate and admire your savvy use of the mute button today. My week in Snap, I have been working on a secret project that probably won't be secret for too long. What else? I realized while during Ben's week that the 2 decks I want to talk about have this week's cards in them. So I'll save those for just a second. And SnapOnThisPod has been going on. I don't know if I've talked about it since season 3 started, but we are several episodes deep into it. Friend of the show, Phil J. Woodward, is still present. It hasn't been fired yet.
Oh, so, I didn't even know he was competing. Awesome.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm allowed to, show favoritism or root him on, root for him or something like that. But I am rooting for him. I hope he does well.
Maybe Lauren has to be impartial, but I'm coming out and endorsing right here, right now. It's got to be Phil J. Woodward. Come on, people. All right,
you both use the same sparkly heart emojis. Is that heart signifiers?
As the selected, the preferred heart.
And the same Electra variant we just battled recently. Sorry.
Yeah.
I was
Phil's awesome. We have a bunch of great people on who both returning candidates and new candidates. I strongly suggest checking it out. It usually airs on Saturdays, but also on Sundays sometimes. It's on Devilish's channel. The thing that I have been doing, we've been working on the task list for months ahead of the season, but it's become a real challenge to write good tasks that are based in the game. The creative tasks I don't find as challenging to make interesting, but the in-game tasks are so hard because over 3 seasons of the game, the game has become less stable. And so when we stress it out, it crashes. There's one of the new candidates that got up to 8 onslaughts on one side of the board. It's the cards have changed since I won. in season 1. You know, there's stuff like there's way more ways to copy cards. There's Ancient One to spread abilities around. Like somebody's like trying to rock 8 onslaughts versus scroll and then surprised when the game crashed. And I'm like, the game crashes with 3. Like, slow down. And anything that's just make the biggest whatever. It's just a Shuri challenge. And so that's always trying to come up with interesting in-game challenges for them. This week, it's make your Carnage eat as many cards as possible. So it's not biggest Carnage because that's just a Shuri challenge, but it's Carnage specifically has to get big by eating cards.
I hope they're like longtime fans watching me like SnapOnThis has changed, man. From the early seasons.
It has changed. It definitely has. Yeah, and I try really hard to write interesting tasks, and it is a challenge. There are still several weeks that I need to find a task for, and I have a task list that's like 31.
Oxymoron, though, like task and like interesting, like it's not right.
Maybe so.
That's not usually
all right.
What I call
Interesting
fun
for a
things.
task, a challenge. I don't know.
Yeah, there you go. Challenge. It's all about the syntax.
Anyway, if you want to watch, I don't want to spoil which team won, but I will say both team got many hundreds of points onto their Carnages. So if you want to see how they did that, it could be something you tuned into this week on Twitch. Anyway, we're going to talk about new thoughts on last week's cards. Ree wants to talk about Spider-Punk. Will you read them off and then tell us what you want to talk about?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah, reading. All right. Spider-Punk is a 3/2. You can move this once. It always feels like a bonus because I pretty much only put him in move decks. I'm like, oh yeah, he moves too. Good job, buddy. Okay. When this moves to a location, steal 2 power from the highest power enemy there. Okay, I did this week put him in my own deck. Because remember, I said I had played him before, and I was just like, like, he's fine. But okay, I put together a deck called Moves Got Memes. Because I found a way to make it fun for me. I made a surfer deck with all the move cards, of course. It has so a Silver Surfer, obviously. Zorn is what enables the good times, to be honest. Whenever I get a Zorn early, I'm like, oh, we probably snap now. Like, probably just for having that Zorn to play on curve. But, less good than Zorn. But buffable is Topaz at 3. Who also, in case you're just like, there's too many cards for you, sorry. Zorn is the card that moves a 3 and a 4 to a random different location whenever you play a card there. Topaz moves cards to the middle whenever you place a card at its location. So you don't play it in the middle. But
and Topaz only moves your own cards. Zorn moves everybody's cards.
Yes, and this is so in the spirit of punk because it's anarchy. It's anarchy and move. Because the funnest thing to do is put down a little Zorn cannon in the left lane, usually. Depends on the situation. And then maybe next turn, put a Hercules there and let him, just zip off. You don't get to decide where he goes, but you let Hercules decide because you've got Hydra Stomper. Obviously, it's a move 3s deck, so you just want to move cards. But what's fun is that the turn after that, maybe a Torch, maybe a Spider-Punk, whatever you want to move around. Then you drop it there, and it usually goes like bing, bing. And it's fun. It's fun for me. I really enjoy it. Okay. And perfection is Red Wing. And not just Red Wing, but I got the Rian Gonzalez Red Wing, and the animation, the little wings are like flapping. It's so good. I
didn't know that.
Yes, I know. I love staring at it in the deck list. I'm like, oh, look at the wings fly. Okay, anyway, So, and it's like, oh, because like a lot of times you're lining up Red Wing, dropping a Red Wing on turn 6, hoping to pull either your Silver Surfer or your Heimdall. Because like everything here can just move again. That's fun. Just let things fly. Let Hercules do his thing. Oh, you do have a Madam. I forgot. I got so like wrapped up in it. And I can't. Makari just falls where she wants, but she'll beef up. It's great. It's a surfer deck. And you do have Madam Web to help you, you know, get some extra power moving around a Punk or a Torch or lining up a Red Wing, or if you didn't draw Zorn or Topaz, you know, Madam Web is here to just make things smooth. Sorry. My most recent experience with Madam Web has been that she hasn't been very competent in the comics. They're just like, she's like spiders, like everything's, you know, like gone to hell. This is like the Spider Society. And they're like, aren't you the one that's supposed to like see that and let us know like before? So, and she's like, yeah. Oops. Like, anyway, and it's just like the whole time it's just like she's not doing well at her job. Unlike in the game, where as long as there are no Russians on the opposing side, she does just fine. Sorry, Red Guardian is like her worst nightmare, always, pretty much. But yeah, you know, and I usually play her, like, mid is usually, like, the right spot for it. Everything's always situational, of course. But you like to set up a little, like, nice Zorn lane, Hercules lane, Madam Web, you know, make yourself a little ping pong table out of the locations to, like, ping around your 3 costs. It's very fun. Oh, yeah, and then Batrock. Because, like, if you don't have a Batrock following around, you know, your stuff moving, what are you even doing? And what's great is, like, you're not all in, so if they do have the Killmonger, you got other stuff going on, you know? Like, you're not all in on the Batrock. Anyway, lots of fun. Lots of people aren't expecting the Red Wing drop on turn 6. Pinging out. You know, all I had to do to enjoy Move to the Max was make it like Anarchy Pinball. And we're good. So yeah, I had a great fun with this. I still am. Once like it died out, when everyone was playing Move, it wasn't fun because Zorn is too helpful to them.
Yeah.
Right, but like as soon as the Move started like dying out into more of like the man spider and like everything else everyone's been doing, there's less of it around. It got fun to play. Good times. Okay, sorry. That's my punk spiel.
I also have been trying to play Spider-Punk. I guess I don't even know if I talked about. I don't know. I've been building decks, trying to believe. I guess some of this will. One of them is an Ezekiel deck. Actually, Spider-Punk's not in the Ezekiel deck anymore. I don't know. I've been playing not boring, an exciting move deck. Cards keep going in and out of it. It's not great. I don't love it. I think part of that is because it's got some cards like Spider-Punk in it, who's not great. At least in my opinion. But the move deck I've been playing right now, the 12 cards, man, it just keeps shifting. Heimdall goes in, Heimdall goes out, this kind of thing. But anywho, it's Websling, Aranya, Batroc the Leaper, Craven the Hunter, Silk, Cosmo, Human Torch, Hydra Stomper, Spider-Punk, Fanfei, Hellion, and Heimdall. And yeah, it's about fine. Man, you know, there's a play that's real fun. And I know for a fact I'm not the only person who enjoys doing this, but you know what a real fun thing to do when you got 4 energy is? You play Web Sling, and then Web Sling's little buddy, the doggy, Cosmo. You play Cosmo after Web Sling, and then your opponent does not know where they are allowed to play on reveals. And yeah, I'm not the only person who's noticed this is great. I've seen other move players discussing it and it's real fun. And I haven't historically been like a huge Cosmo fan, but I've come around to shoving Cosmo in all my move decks, at least the ones where you move your own cards around, especially with all these activates, your fan phase, your Aranyas and stuff. So yeah, I feel like Spider-Punk is kind of the weak link of that deck. But I've been trying. I keep trying. I tried a lot of things with Ezekiel, and Spider-Punk was in a lot of them. But we'll talk about Ezekiel in a minute. Do I have other thoughts about the new cards? Is that what you were going to ask, Lauren? Perhaps.
Well, you told me you wanted to say something about Superior Spider-Man.
Oh, yeah. I see you're all still trying to play Superior Spider-Man. Good luck with that. I don't think he's very good. He makes maybe 1 energy per turn. I keep getting copycat Superior Spider-Mans, and I don't know. I keep playing Hope.
I've been really surprised by how many I'm seeing.
Yeah, I don't know why. Because, like, I gotta say, on average, I feel like the matches I play against the people with Superior Spider-Man don't go great for the people playing Superior Spider-Man, and I suspect they're probably having similar outcomes against everyone. I don't think it's a special thing where, like, I know the secret to beating Superior Spider-Man. I think the secret to beating Superior Spider-Man is to not be playing Superior Spider-Man and to be playing better cards. So I think it's fascinating, like, the cards that people, like, really latch on to. And wow, folks love Superior Spider-Man. So
extra energy must be good, right?
There's something very pure and sweet about that. And never lose
but
that.
Also,
your love
if you got it
Spider-Man.
for tokens, right? Aren't you just like, sometimes I can see just try, you just want to.
No, for sure. And I mean, like, I keep trying Spider-Punk, and that card's not good either. Like, I totally get, like, we're all trying to make things work. It's it's just nobody needs to be playing all good cards all the time. I think it's
been slaying for me against Bullseye, because he's been hitting Decans, because they've usually been the biggest thing in their lane at the time, and that like kills that like triple Decan, because there's so many Bullseyes that rely on a super big Decan. Okay, so you just remind me how fun that is.
Spider-Punk feels the most useful is when you scoot him over onto something that doubles, that hasn't doubled yet. And that's when you feel like Spider-Punk is like
feels really
actually
good
contributing. It's just you can't count on your opponent to be doing that, and like some of the things that don't double where Spider-Punk can get to them, like you can't do it to a Black Panther or whatever, Man Spider's already doubled unless they're gonna do it more. I don't know. Point is, I'm just like, I'm fascinated by the stinkers that achieve they find their players, and wow, if Superior Spider-Man hasn't found a lot of players for reasons I don't fully understand. But the other cards are good too. Man Spider, Web Sling. I was actually really hoping to pick up Man Spider this week if it could rotate into my shop, but I did a big whoopsie, and I was checking the season 5 or the series 5 pack, the seasonal ones, to see how many cards were in the pool, and I backed out, and I was going to buy Ezekiel Sims, but the thing is, I only backed out of checking which cards were in the pool, and so I backed out of that and bought a series 5 pack, so I'm now the proud owner of Zombie Galacti. But so that's why I haven't picked up Man Spider yet to see if I like that card. I suspect I won't like that card. I think maybe Ezekiel Sims turned out to be an 11,000 token card for me. That's how I've been choosing to look at it. And we'll talk about him later. But so that's why I haven't tried Man Spider, and I don't think I will, because now now that I've wasted the money, I don't think I've got it in the budget the way I'm looking at the future. Anywho, point is, I'm glad you're all still having fun with Man Spider, who seems like a real good card, and I'm not too sick of him yet, but I could see I can understand why I can already sense some discontent that I'm hearing echoing through the channels of communication. I don't really spend a lot of time in a lot of the places, but like I feel like I'm hearing through the grapevine that maybe not everybody loves Man Spider, and I get it, and I'm at least not contributing to the problem. And yeah, those are cards. They came out. We talked about them.
Yeah, let's talk about this week's cards. Ezekiel Sims, 2/2. After you play a card with higher power here, give this +2 power and move this to another location.
Wow. Cool, fun concept. Not a very powerful card in my experience. I've been trying to have 11,000 tokens worth of fun with them. That was the only way I could not get frustrated with myself for accidentally opening a snap pack I didn't mean to. So I'm like really trying to be positive. Here, let me tell you the coolest thing about Ezekiel Sims. The coolest thing that happened while I was playing Ezekiel Sims. He was like 2/6 or something, maybe even 2/8, and it was turn 6, and my opponent had priority, and I had multiple, juiced up cards in one lane, and with priority, they Shadow Kinged me, and Ezekiel went back down to 2. And then I revealed a card in that lane. Ezekiel went up to 2/4, moved somewhere else. Card revealed in that lane, and he slurped up a bunch of power.
You
he
got
went right
2
back
in
up
one
to 2/6.
turn?
Yeah. So like they Shadow Kinged him, and he bounced right back. That's very cool. That's very interesting, novel, not easily replicable, not a great game plan for winning a lot of cubes on a regular basis. I don't think this card is very good at all. I think they will need to fundamentally change some things. I think they could get a lot of mileage out of making Ezekiel trigger off of things that are equal to his power instead of greater than his power, because like just 1 point makes a big difference. If you could,
I agree.
But that's like the only knob they have to meaningfully make him better. Because if you change any of the other things, it all like equilibrates. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's my favorite change I've heard so far.
Because like if they make him get bigger with each trigger, then you just make it harder to trigger him in the future. Mm-hmm. And if you make him start smaller, he ends smaller. Like all the other knobs you could change just make the card still bad. So I think they should do that. And here's the thing. I think even if they do that, it's still a bad card. This card is not like, if you've been like waiting to know, like, is there some there here? Is there room to believe? No, you're better off spending the tokens on Superior Spider-Man, or really any of the other cards this month. Any of them. The Ezekiel Sims is, unless you like me are really trying to just have a lot of fun with him, I can't recommend. I played him in a lot of kinds of decks. There were 2 kinds of decks I didn't try him in that I thought maybe he could be cool in. I don't think I came up with this idea. I think one of our clever friends pointed this out, but like be pretty cool in C6, right? He's a 2-drop that can reliably get up to 2/6, and that seems cool. And there was one more. What was the? Oh shoot! If I think of it later, I should have written this. I should have written this down. There was another kind of deck that I thought maybe he could be interesting in. That
I've seen people putting him in Sauron. Not sure if that's what you're thinking of, but
no, that wasn't.
You have so many like on
see that.
tempo
This
cards.
So fun. I like
it's like another scaler next to Cer3bro where you can actually reasonably proc him like 4 times.
That sounds pretty good. I didn't try him. Okay, so there are like 3 things. I don't remember what. This is gonna frustrate me.
If it comes back to you at any point, you can interrupt.
But I'll tell you what I have been playing him in. I'll tell you all about my best Ezekiel Sims deck. It's a Scream one, and it's got Batroc the Leaper. It's got Scream, Ezekiel Sims, Sam Wilson, Captain America, Kraven, Spider-Man, Silk, Hydra Stomper, Polaris, Juggernaut, Miles Morales, Spider-Man, and Stegron. And, before that, I tried him in the Mass Move deck that they really want to be real, even though they refuse to, rework Human Torch in such a way to make it plausible. But I tried several tweaks mid. I was cooking a lot of mediocre move decks this week. It's a good thing I have like a deck that like wins a lot, or I wouldn't have hit infinite with all this testing I was doing with other things. But yeah, I'm still trying with Zeke, and he's definitely fun and cool. And I'm excited to know if either of you have. Did either of you get him?
I didn't, because I was definitely going to. If I hadn't found fun in the decks I had talked about, I was planning on probably dropping 6K for him, because I didn't have a good shot at getting him. I don't have so many cards. I'm so intrigued, actually, by this. I mean, my best idea had been my, like, werewolf Agamotto shenanigans with Batroc and Silk, but, like, the Surtur thing really calls to me, because I enjoy Sauron. Like I said, I have a soft spot for him. He was my first Series 5 card way back in the day. And what is great for pulling out Sauron for is the time when people are playing all these tech decks, and I've been facing a lot of just like decks full of like Stardust and Mercuries and like, stuff that's just built to like kind of counter tech soups that I kind of play a lot myself, to be honest. But it's not fun for me when everyone's doing it, especially when I'm out here trying to do some fun hella stuff and whatever. So I switched back, and I was playing like a lot of ongoing too, and there's a lot of super scroll. It's like whatever I was doing, people were countering, and it's just like, and it's just always fun to be like, yeah, rogue my Typhoid Mary, like, all of that stuff. So I was playing a Surtur Sauron deck, and I'm like, this is exactly the kind of shenanigans that would make the deck more fun for me. that I want to put into it. Okay, I'm excited. That's actually probably the first thing I'll do when I get my hands on him. But yeah, I didn't drop tokens on Chameleon either, because I was just like, I was enjoying what I had. So I'm trying to save my tokens as like, a treat / late night whim, anytime whim. You know how it goes.
Live it up to late night Rie. Yeah, I got him. I'm not super impressed with him. I wasn't expecting a lot from him either. However, I don't know who this comes from. I got it through Prashan, but he said he got it from somebody in his Discord server. This deck is called Spider Island, and it is a theme deck. Okay, it is also kind of expensive. It has 4 of this season's 6 new cards. It's got Websling, Spider-Ham, Ghost Spider, Ezekiel Sims, Penny Parker, Spider-Man, Silk, Spider-Punk, Superior Spider-Man, Scarlet Spider, Miles Morales Spider-Man, and Spider-Man 2099. It is chock full of spider people. It is very fun. It also has more synergy than you would think on first glance. So, like, I'm not going to call this a strong deck, but it's stronger than you'd think. I was surprising people with it. And there's a little bit of synergy there, right? Like, Ezekiel Sims and the buff from Penny Parker's Spider and Spider-Punk are all ways to get green power for Superior Spider-Man. You're like, why do I want that? Well, you want that because it gives you an extra energy to play Web Sling or Ghost Spider alongside Spider-Man 2099. Penny Parker's Spider is a good thing to put onto Scarlet Spider. Then you get to make 2 4/10s instead of 2-4-5s. So like there's some decent stuff here, and Spider-Man 2099 is like, he's big enough that you can often hit Ezekiel a third time. And Penny Parker's spider. I don't know what else to call it in a deck full of spiders. Penny Parker's spider also is a way to hit Ezekiel. Like if it merges onto something else that's there, that'll count as the power of that card. And almost always +5 is even like +5 on top of Spider Ham is like more than enough to proc Ezekiel. So very cool and fun deck if you're looking for a fun theme deck. I also found Web Sling to be really interesting here. Like I rarely needed it, except for maybe to move Spider-Man 2099. But something I was doing with it quite a bit was using it to block Ezekiel. So I knew exactly where he was going to go. And that was actually useful many times. I even played it on a Cosmo lane once just to control where Zeke was going to go. So, not impressed with the card. I would say don't get it. Unless it is super duper your type of thing. Like, you know, of course, like bad cards are perfectly fine to acquire if they are an archetype that you enjoy or whatever. Mm-hmm. Speaking of archetypes, I thought of the one where I thought it might be fun to try Ezekiel, the other one besides C6. And I didn't try him in any sort of move bounce type of deck. Or like even just I don't know. I'm like, who's regularly playing enough big things that you could proc him multiple times and possibly even multiple times in a turn. Possibly even multiple times in a turn towards the end when they aren't expecting it. And I'm like, I don't know, maybe you end up playing a big old Sage that you played once before or something. I don't know. I'm like, that might be a cute Raccoon. To try him. Yep. These sorts of things. So I wonder if that could be cute, if not good. And I'm honestly surprised that it actually did float into my brain again after I let it go. Good job. Also, I picked up Chameleon, but he's still in the original packaging. Sealed in box. I didn't mention this last week, but I got wild and splurged, and I bought the Brett Bean Spider-Punk variant. So, like, I really am rooting for these cards that I don't think are very good. I really am, like, putting myself into them and making the effort, meeting them more than halfway, if you ask me. I don't like to dump all over the cards without doing the due diligence and investing myself in them and stuff. You know, I don't mean to be a negative Nancy about these cards, and if you love them, I want you to know that I do in fact love them too. Yeah, actually, I kind of doubt they're going to buff Punk, but
you really think so? He's like not.
I kind of doubt it, but I think that he'll be critical to move if they ever hit Torch hard enough. Right?
Yeah. I mean, they're never going to hit Torch hard enough.
Yeah, not enough to make... I mean, it's still like, it's no Vulture, right? Vulture was what, +6? And Punk is +4?
Yeah. See, like, it's just, you can't hang with Vulture.
Yeah. Well, maybe he does go to Steel 3 and then he's Vulture.
Yeah, then he is Vulture.
Vulture who spreads it around. Anyway, Chameleon, our series 4 this week. 3/3 on reveal. Copy the text of another card here. You revealed this turn. I think this qualifies as a card that maybe isn't a very good card, but is one that is very appealing to me. And so...
I'll be surprised if this is not a good card of some kind.
But I would like to hear from you two first. Ree, you're muted.
Oops. Okay. I didn't get it, but I do think the type of thing I would do is it would be like less of a surfer thing. I don't like the restrictions. I think I'd just be looking to copy like little cards like Nico and stuff. Maybe with like Joaquin Torres, build out that kind of combo with him. I like taking the big plays sometimes and bring them down to the lower costs. But so I'm interested. So I didn't actually play him though. Curious to hear what you guys did.
Ben?
Or
Well,
You haven't played him, but
You
have
just
you
said-
run into him?
Yes, I
Yeah.
acquired him. He's still in the box.
Have you run into any?
Yeah, I've seen him around.
Not
I've seen like
really.
a couple, not like high density. It seemed like. Yeah, I feel like people aren't really trying with him yet, or I don't know. I have a lot of faith that this card will find homes. That's what
Yeah, me
even
too.
though like it's not very exciting in my opinion. I just can't see it being bad. That's all.
I really, really hope they change it to a 2-cost. I think it would be a much more interesting card
I think it would
there.
be broken at 2 cost.
It would be very good too, though. So like,
I'm like thinking like while I was you know what would be fun with this card? I mean, like it's kind of an overcommitment, but I'm just thinking like, what could you do? But like, man, on turn 5, you could just absolutely like stake your claim to a lane by dropping Morbius and Chameleon in the same spot on turn 5.
Yeah.
Like, maybe it's too much of a good thing, but like, ooh, baby, they'd better have the Enchantress, or they'd better have something very cool going on in the other 2 lanes. I don't know. It just seems like a card that can't be bad. Even if it's like the wrong shape to fit in every, like, you know, even if it's an awkward peg, I'm sure there are holes where it goes. I don't know.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of people doing Cerebro 3, and it seems like
Okay,
good fit there.
Cerebro 3 makes sense, but I think what you're missing is the thing I'm always harping on when you're like, well, maybe in this deck or maybe in that deck, is that the problem is he's not, like I said, you put him in a discard deck, and it's like, that means you're not putting in a card that discards things, or a card that likes to be discarded.
That's like the thing to do with
And
a
that gets really
generating
tough.
Chameleon.
How is he going to be
Probably
better
not
than
the
other
best thing to go.
things? So it's just like, well, like that one play sounds good. It's like in the long run, you know, you're just like, maybe I just want a Sif or even a Glaive, you know?
Yeah, no, you're
Have
totally
you
right. And the
seen-
3
Is
It's
he
where I think
in
that-
Victoria hand decks yet?
I've seen people trying it, but I don't know if I could pull off the top of my head how successful that has been. I feel like I've heard mixed reviews. And I think he's really, really restrictive. Same turn, same location. I think it's possible that 2 isn't too good. I tried playing him. This was inspired by listener Iron Cloak, but I put a few twists on it. I did an end of turn deck with the key thought being, worst case scenario, if I have Jocasta down on turn 6, I can play Invisible Woman First Steps and Chameleon together. And then I still have 2 Invisible Woman First Steps that are ready to hit. But I wanted to put, you know, I was like, okay, but what else can I do with this? And it's like, well, you can copy your Athena, you can copy your Havoc, you can copy a Marvel Boy. And so I also threw in Aranya and Zorn as ways to like spread out the things that Chameleon is copying. And I've seen other people doing that with Ghost Spider, where it's like, you know, Chameleon gets his copy and then the next turn you pull him out so that they're in separate lanes. This deck was fun. I don't think it was an improvement over end of turn. People still vastly underestimate how much power this thing can put out when you have a stack of Invisible Women.
Oh my gosh, I've also been playing, and I also played this because I was like, you know, what do I do that just went, once everyone was playing stuff, I was like, okay, what gets big? And like, I hadn't played this back in the day when it was meta, and it was like, yeah, people, I beat with this a negative that got their magic out and like, you know, did stuff because it's like, oh, I'll just use that extra turn too. Like,
yeah,
even
I beat
better
a War
position.
Machine that, you know, dropped Infinite, and I just like, I can go bigger than Infinite. What are you doing?
Yeah.
You know, I'm seeing a lot of these War Machine decks around. Are they good? Am I just playing something that like stomps them? Because like my Surfer deck is just beating them with high regulate. Like
They're just annoying when they get the Legion after the storm and lock you out of turn 6. That's like the big play.
I don't know why. I always seem to have the cannonball for it. Like I'll cannonball their War Machine or their Infinite or like whatever. I just always seem to. I don't. Is that deck like doing well right now, or is it just popular?
I think it's running well on the Storm Legion combo, and then. It also must be good to some degree. There was one of them that placed like top 16 or top 8 at Golden Gauntlet. Although I don't think that was the standard version.
And it's the tech that hurts a lot of people doesn't hurt you. Because a lot of times you can hide your War Machine somewhere they can't get to it, like behind a storm or whatever. And like you're not as vulnerable to, I don't know. It seems to do well. Pulling back, I was looking at your Chameleon deck, and it is what, like, I think we were talking about. I can see, as you were talking about all the things you warped to make it good for Chameleon, because that's, what you were doing. But it's like, that's always the problem with these cards. It's like, well, but what's really powerful about the deck is Invisible Woman First Steps.
And he was actually a lot clunkier than I expected him to be. If I don't have any energy ramp, really hard to match with a 3. So I could kind of see him going to 2. It depends on
in that deck.
Zorn. Okay, so that's actually the real reason I want to talk about this deck is because of Zorn. The main reason he's here is because if Chameleon copies Sunspot or Thena or Havoc, one of them stays on the lane and the other and Chameleon gets shot off.
You disperse. Yes.
That was the intention. However, Zorn was like responsible for half of the wins I had with this deck. Like, yes, end of turn just gets stupid big, but also, gosh, people were just like, it messes up their combos and stuff to like have Zorn yeet something off, Evo Cyclops, bye, you're not on the lane with my cards. I had somebody play a Venom on Starbrand Crater where you can't play cards there that have 10 or more power. They played a Venom there and the Venom got yeeted off. And then they had nothing as a destroy deck. They had nothing left that could fit on Starbrand Crater. And so I won it with like 3 power there. It's just I really liked Zorn as a defensive card.
Me too. Yeah, when you're not playing against a move deck that just benefits from it, like Zorn is a great counter.
What a great way to win like Asgard, like or to protect an Iron Patriot. Like I don't know. I feel like I have underutilized Zorn. Like there's something here.
I'm so glad
it's fun when you're playing a card for the first time and you get to see all those little tricks you didn't think. Like, I noticed the same thing because I have also been playing a lot of Zorn this week. It's like, oh, I can just win this location because, like, when they get put, it's going to stick around here. Okay. Anyway, exciting. Sorry, were you saying something, Ben?
Oh, no, I was just like asking about Zorn because he seemed a little bit out of place amidst all the end of turn cards. But then the explanation immediately made sense. And I was like, oh, of course you want Zorn. And I'm glad to know that you're getting,
you're getting your Zorn's worth.
Tertiary Zorn benefits and things because he's a neat card. And I wish there were more reasons and places to play him and stuff. Yeah. Just a neat card that I want to work a little better in more spots.
Yeah. I like 2 costs that do things. That's fun.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's talk about next week's cards. Weirdly, there's one coming on Tuesday and one coming on Thursday. And as far as I know, that it's just coming to PAX. Like, did they mess up the schedule? I don't know. But that's what it says on the official Marvel Snap blog. So Tuesday, Spider-Man Noir, a 4/6. On reveal, if your other cards in play cost exactly 8 total, add the top card of your deck here, set its power to 8. We talked about it before. So this is just a vibe check. Any new thoughts or you excited about?
Yes, just now I thought of another reason to hate and it was like, oh, okay. So like on top of like having to make all your little like carefully laid plans, Like, but then what if like Marvel Snap's greatest adversaries, squirrels, totally like there's just so many ways your Spider-Man Noir plan gets thrown off, and it's like, is what it's doing that you can't even control what card it's hitting? So it's like, is the payoff for the work you're putting in? I'm bummed because obviously this is a card I really want to like.
Yes.
Based on the whole character's vibes, but like I'm so against this ability. It's too much for me.
Yeah, I don't know how you do it with Jubilee, but I almost wish that he would still do something if you didn't meet the criteria, right? Like he pulls the card if you, no matter what, and then he gives it 8 power if you meet the criteria, something like that, where it's like a halfway. But he just whiffs if you don't, have exactly 8 costs on the board.
High Evo is a 4/7, like
Yeah. I mean, High Evo was like a 4/4 or something once upon a time.
Yeah,
like they've done a lot to make him more playable. And Noir was data mined as 4/4, and they bumped him up to 6.
That's the thing. When we rated these cards, we were rating the 4/4 version of Spider-Man Noir. And personally, myself, I kind of feel like those 2 points of power make a bit of a difference. Like I'm a little more excited about a 4/14 than a 4/12, because a 4/12 is like, are we really doing anything here? Like that says to me like we could just be playing Crossbones or Cull Obsidian or something. I mean, like obviously you don't get to tutor out possibly Iron Man and set him to 8 or whatever, but like I feel like 4/4 is kind of, or 4/14 rather is, I don't know. I'm more willing to believe now that they've given him the 2 extra points. I think this card would have been a stinker at 4/4, and it might still be a stinker at 4/6, but at least now it's got a fighting chance. That's what I think.
He's gonna be really big when he does the thing.
High, but like it is gonna. It's going like when it works, it's gonna like whoa, hey now, you're an all-star.
I don't necessarily think he's bad. I just am against the idea of. Just don't want to
really doubt the consistency. Yeah. And then Thursday, Deafening Chord, a 1-cost skill going to Series 4 packs. On reveal, afflict an enemy character here that costs 3 or less with -1 power and remove its text. Very strong. A Red Guardian that I might actually play. Red Guardian's good too. I just
not this good, I don't think.
Right.
Yeah, this is a scary card.
Don't like it one bit. It's no good.
It's one. Can you straight out buy this one?
Yeah,
I believe you have to go through the packs. Okay,
no, you should be able to buy it for 3,000 tokens.
Feel like a real.
Okay,
dope.
Then I think this is one I'll have to, just because it just does seem like that power.
Even if it's not an everywhere tech card, which I think there's a good chance that it is.
It's so cheap. It's
but
so cheap.
Even if it's not, it's still, there are still decks that will definitely, there are absolutely decks that will use this. Werewolf for sure. The stacking ones, the Zombie Scarlet Witch and Angela types love this card. Yeah, this one's interesting.
I don't think it's interesting at all. I think this is the least interesting card.
You should think it's too good.
But also it's not interesting. We've seen this. It's Red Guardian, but what if it was easier and more painless to play? That was always the problem with Red Guardian, right? Too many hoops to jump through, too much of a commitment. You have to play a 3/5. I mean, now you have to play a 3/3 or whatever.
I mean, it doesn't.
It's just a 1/1.
It doesn't hit Iron Man, so I'll give Red Guardian that. But you're not always. It's not often you're throwing the Red Guardian down for an Iron Man.
Yeah. You could also run Red Guardian and Deafening Chord.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
silence 2 of your opponent's cards. Yeah. Interesting was a sloppy adjective for me. I was going towards dangerous because this seems like a hard card to tune.
Yeah.
I guess you could make it a 2 cost, but like it is much, much
Sure
worse
could.
at 2.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Heads up. High Voltage is running. When you hear this, if you hear it when it's new, just for the weekend, cosmetics only, or at least that's what it said in the blog. I might play some to like knock out my weekend missions, or if they have very tempting cosmetics, which I doubt. But yeah, I know some people love High Voltage. Okay.
Yeah. I'll be using this opportunity to make sure I get in all my Conquest games so that I can get the Paolo Parente Blizzard variant, because this Conquest variant is not to be skipped. I remember. I like. I'm familiar with the artist from Magic the Gathering cards of my youth, so it's a good looking lizard. The lizard's got some good variants. I think I currently rock the Rian Gonzalez, but it might be fun to switch it up.
I don't have that one.
It's so cute.
It is very cute. On to our side quests. My show notes say the first thing is Cerebro Intervention.
That is because I put together the show note. And this was originally going to start as like, a little side rant maybe. And we can stop just because I've been seeing so much Cerebro around. But, heard Thursday complaining about it with his permission to paraphrase things he was talking about. So I thought, why not make it a full-on roundtable discussion? First, I would like to kick it off by saying, hey, bro, I never liked you, and I never respected you. But I could always count on you, like a Pokemon rival, to show up and try wacky things that were the opposite of what I was doing. Fun things, like playing Valkyrie behind Invisible Woman, or, playing out a Shang that would only get a little bit bigger. But now you sold out. You went mainstream. You're everywhere. It's just bastions. It's just sentinels. That's the best you can come up with. Used to be fun. We used to be able to rely on you for a party. So, okay. Sorry, too long into opening bit. Okay. But for real, right? It's too everywhere because it's gotten too powerful, because it's too consistently statted. Where it used to be, and this is kind of what Thursday was saying, it used to be like what you Cerebro players were doing was like you could only make your C3 cards so big because you could maybe play usually just a Cerebro Mystique. So you'd mix that in with the appropriate tech, to counter. That would be enough. But now with like Bastion and stuff, where you can like multi-copy your Cerebro, you can just win out with stats and like a little bit of tech. And I don't like it. I don't like seeing. Also, a shout out to our friend Michael, who reminded me what C3 used to be, because as you know, I don't touch it myself for ethical reasons. Okay, how do you guys feel about Cerebro and how it's changed, and whether that's good for it?
Yeah, one thing I don't like about it is it feels more. It's a big combo deck, right? And it feels more extreme than Mr. Negative or Hella ever did, because of how strong it is, and because, I don't want to say it's not telegraphed, right? You can see that they're only playing Priest. You can see they're playing.
You can retreat when you know you're going to lose. Yeah.
But it has that Hella component where it's like, you don't know if your opponent has Hella or not, so you just have to assume they do. Right? At least with Mr. Negative, you can put pressure on it if they don't get Mr. Negative in time, or if they don't draw Jane, or if they don't get Limbo up. Like, there's at least something to do. And there is some tech that works against Cerebro, but not a lot. Like, I don't know. I kind of feel like we need a baby Red Skull that can mess him up.
Maybe. I don't know. I think the card's
true.
too strong, and it's too easy to double it. Like, I think the card Cerebro itself is like just in the wrong spot right now. I think it needs to change.
Another reason to play Sauron.
I will say, pleased to see Bastion getting such attention and prominence, because I thought when the card came
He
out,
already had
it would
With
get there,
hand?
you know? Yeah, I know, but like I thought Bastion was a card that is good enough that it could do two things, and sure enough, it can. I bet it can do a third, honestly. So I think it's a neat card with potential and stuff, and I knew it would just keep getting better. I do hate that the current wave of Cerebro stuff is so. I just wish the game weren't so doubly, so cloney these days. Let's do it twice. Let's do it twice as many, 4 times. Oh, yay. And that's just like not exciting or interesting, and kind of played.
Sorry, okay, I didn't want to interrupt you in the middle of the
like,
thought.
I don't know. Y'all fuck with Magic the Gathering? They folks been horny for doubling over there for decades. It's not that interesting, folks. It's like but what if twice as much?
It was interesting when it was just Wong, and Wong was already a hard thing to achieve. You're right. I hadn't thought about this, about how much there are multiple ways to double up now, that it's almost Wong seems irrelevant.
Yeah.
And that does affect.
Certainly
And
less
it's affecting
special,
to
less
this math
distinct.
problem, right? This problem of where it just gets too hard. It's just kind of okay, well, I don't know who wins if we both hit our combos. We just find out. Because it just gets
That
to be too much to math. Yeah.
Oh, it seems like an inevitable problem to having an ever-growing card collection, right? It's like you're increasingly going to have to get cards that split up their jobs, and you're going to have a lot more overlap. And I guess the alternative is to invent new play styles and new archetypes, but that's even more matchups to balance, and also probably a harder thing to invent than a card that's kind of like another card that's already there.
So, are you saying that we're running out of design space for cards in Marvel Snap? Because that's sad if that's true. I hadn't really thought to myself if that was true. Could I design a lot better fun cards?
So this is what you get.
I think there's plenty of design space still, but just the nature of the game, where it's a small deck size and all that, is the impact of having multiple cards that can do almost the same thing and they can all go in the same deck. We have too many tech cards. We have too many doublers. But how do you avoid that and still make cards that are interesting? I mean, I know you've been saying rotation, yeah, or a limited time mode, right?
But also quit printing cards that do the doubling. It's
but if none of them said double, then they're all going to say +2.
Yeah,
and then they're all
better.
just
that's better. There are more ways to design those cards. There are more ways to do +2 in interesting ways again and again. You can keep going back to that well so many more times than you go back to the doubling well, because you go back to the doubling well twice, and then it's times 8. It's just, hey. All right, this cat's not doing the right things. I need
cat shenanigans
over there. Yeah. I mean,
I agree with the thesis that Cerebro is too strong.
Yeah. Also, I want to make it clear, I'm upset about the card Cerebro. I think that's in a bad place. I don't think the people who are enjoying playing Cerebro are doing anything wrong, or they're all.
Oh yeah,
I'm not here to police what people are
on the
playing.
low end. But I think it's gotten way easier to control locations and the negative effects of them, right? I think that's what's always been the gamble with Cerebro before, to a bigger degree as well.
Yeah. Well, and retreat and snap mechanics have always made Cerebro possible to play, right? Or other extreme combo decks like Hella and Negative.
Not just more. I mean, the same thing you said with Mr. Negative. It's just too reliable now for like the strength of the combo.
Well, and also part of Thursday's complaint is that the Cerebro deck itself, specifically Cerebro 3, when you're building it, it almost builds itself at this point. There's very little room for variation. Yeah. There are just so many cards that are just clearly the best in slot. So even for Cerebro apologists, it's gone a little too far.
No, one of my favorite. Because sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, one of my favorite fixes that I've seen is to make Luke like quite a bit more, make him like a 4/4 or a 3/5 or and it's like in some ways like Luke doesn't really need a buff. He's a very good card at what he does, but also it would make it so that Affliction is a viable way to stop Cerebro if they can't run.
Oh, you don't want to make Affliction good though.
Why not?
No, I'm fine with that.
If Affliction's just doing like -2, it's the same thing as +2. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
You just don't like the way it feels to have your cards get hit.
I think the card they need to change is Cerebro. That's what I think.
+3 is probably just too good. I guess especially maybe unless they make Cerebro more expensive.
Yeah, they could make Cerebro 4. Somebody suggested that.
People would hate that.
It's kind of crazy. We had a 2-cost Cerebro not that long ago. We're not just making this up. Cerebro 3 won the Golden Gauntlet World Championships. And also there was a recent team answer where Glenn said it's been one of the strongest decks for a while.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Not a good place for it. In my opinion. Okay, well, do we want to move on to the secret homework that I assigned?
Let's do it.
Okay. So I thought it would be fun. When I was younger, I would always tag everyone into making playlists, into exchanging them. It was very fun. So I had kind of forgotten that when I suggested this, but I remembered coming back to it. How fun it is. I mean, there's mixed CDs and then playlists. And now there's just the algorithm. Relentless, unyielding, unending. Okay. So it was hey, let's make a playlist for the spider season because it's spider punk and the spiders are fun. And let's do it one song for each card / character. And then, the bonus 3 would be the variants. Ghost Spider, Silk and Black Cat. So I thought we would just, so we're not each talking way too long, we take it character by character. And I will be very brief on some of them. I may have more to say about others. Feel free to do the same.
Can we get a turn to talk about the assignment in general before we dig into the specific tracks? Okay.
Let's do that now. That sounds great.
Okay.
Lauren,
did you get to say enough about it? Okay. You'll soon learn that my entire playlist is by a single artist, Regina Spektor, one of my all-time favorites. There were several reasons for that. One is I just don't listen to that much music anymore. Certainly, if you limit it to lyrical music, it's much less. I really haven't listened to a lot in 15 years because when I'm doing chores or driving or whatever, or working, it's either non-lyrical music for work or podcasts and audiobooks. Which is pro and con. Every time I listen to music, I'm like, dang, I should do this more. This really helps my mood. But I don't know. I feel like when you're sharing a playlist, there's a certain amount of responsibility when you're sharing it for somebody else to listen to. Hey, I like these songs. You should listen to this too. And so I only wanted to pick songs that I knew. And for me, that is much easier to have a deep understanding of what I'm doing if it's Regina, who I've listened to a ton. There are certainly other artists I could use. I have experience. I made 5 playlists ranging from intensity of like, I want to be your friend to like, I want to, I'm in love with you, to my current wife. I think it was like right before we started dating. And that was very fun. And I used all kinds of artists for that. So like, it's something I'm capable of. But yeah, I think playlists are super cool. I think it's worth very briefly noting that listener Mandatory Burnout made a lovely, very considerate and thoughtful playlist for me as a wedding gift.
Aww.
Yeah. Some people, it's like a love language.
Yeah.
Ben, did you want to?
What? Oh, I was just saying that Mandatory Burnout's a winner.
Oh, yeah. I was wondering if you wanted to say anything about this before we started getting into the tracks.
Intro.
I don't know. Playlists are. I don't really make it. I made one for the podcast, but other than that, I don't really make playlists. I used to burn CDs.
Yeah,
I love making playlists.
Mostly about what's 80 minutes or less. That's usually how I think of things. I don't know. I picked some songs. I didn't put as much thought into this one as the previous playlist I made for secret homework, but that's because I've been real sick and I just haven't had the energy and attention to, I got other obligations, some even more important than secret homework sometimes.
That's entirely fair.
Okay.
But I picked some songs. They're pretty good.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, and don't feel it's like, because we have like a whole 13. We don't need to be long about all of them, but I thought it would just be better to break it up, little pieces at a time. So I'll kick off. The first song you were to be inspired by, opening the playlist, of course, is the main man himself, Spider-Punk. The song I went with is called Love Impaired. It's by Dinosaur 94. And it's definitely, one of my rules for the playlist is like, we're passable on the nose in the best way. Mm-hmm. And, It's literally lyrics song. It says, I'm a punk. I'm a sucker, So that matches. And then it's about, Love Impaired, which kind of matches that Spider-Punk, takes a little bite out of where he goes, struggles in relationships. And really it's a great song that I definitely jam out to in the catharsis of. Highly recommend dance party chores, like when you're dusting or doing other things, listening to your headphones. And jamming out to songs such as Love Impaired. And to me, it was just like I could totally see Spider-Punk as being playing this. So that's what I picked. Not too much more to say about it. Let us continue forth in this order, Lauren.
Okay. I started with a more literal... I definitely have some very literal ones. I started with a more literal one for punk, that Regina's hardest song, but I ended up putting that on Deafening Chord. And so for Spider-Punk, I picked Us, which is actually a very darling song, one that I love to play on the piano and sing. But it doesn't sound punky at all, but it has those politics. It the opening lines are, they made a statue of us, put it on a mountaintop. Now tourists come and stare at us. And that to me fits Hobie Brown, who is symbolized as a Spider-Man, but doesn't want to be, right? Doesn't want to be a symbol like that. Doesn't want to be idolized or commercialized. So that's what I went with.
Ben.
Well, I was reminded, I have to mute my microphone. I was reminded, actually, I do have a song, but first, hey, there's a load screen for this season. Y'all seen this Spider-Punk on the load screen? Is this the same Spider-Punk from the collage variant? Is that?
Yes.
Okay, well, y'all, Creative House Pocket. I don't know. I did not want to be a party pooper, but like, I've been a little suspicious of them for some time. And like, you take a look at the headstock of Spider-Punk's guitar. It's got 5 tuning pegs on it. That's not the right number, y'all.
Oh no.
Yeah. So they've learned that they have to check the number of fingers, but
oh no.
yeah. Sorry, folks. That's not. You know what?
Well, it should be 6, by the way.
Yep. And
is it possible that he just rocked so hard he needs?
No, it's not. It's really not, y'all.
5 pegs.
Obi Brown plays a 6-string guitar. He doesn't play a 5-string bass. Like, and you know, I've seen a lot of fun drawings of guitars. You're allowed to not give a shit about the strings themselves. You can draw 3 of them, none of them. Like, you can, like, any stylistic choice you take on the strings themselves is fine, but like, sorry, you've got the wrong number of tuning machines there upon that headstock, and that to me says you did AI. But anywho, other things about the image also suggest to me that they got the stink of AI on that one.
I think it's honestly, like, for these studios, I think it's basically just industry standard at this point to use AI as your reference image.
It's do better. Like, just do art. That's what we're here for. I want to see. I'm not here to see images. I'm here to see art with, you know, intentions behind it, thought, human.
Yeah, just to be super clear, that was not my excusing it. I think that's the norm, and we have to figure out how to deal with that.
And it's just gross to see more and more of it in the game, and it just makes the whole thing feel cheap and yucky. But the song that I picked for Spider-Punk was Nazi Punks Fuck Off by Dead Kennedys, and originally I had that one for Spider-Man Noir because he likes drinking egg creams and fighting Nazis a lot. But
it's a known punk activity.
Yep. I had another one for Spider-Man Noir. So I shuffled that one over to Spider-Punk because he's got an anti-authoritarian streak, and Nazi punks can fuck off. That's my stance.
Okay. We're going to snake ladder it. Do your next one, Ben, based on Man Spider, please.
Okie dokie. For Man Spider, I had some thoughts. One of them, my first thought, I don't know if it was my best thought. I was like, maybe the spider is a man? And I'm thinking like, maybe Make a Man Out of You from Mulan. But I decided instead to go with Mixed Business from the Beck album Midnight Vultures.
Nice.
Interestingly enough, the lyrics of that song include a shout out to a different Marvel character. One of the lines of that song is "Word up to the man thing," but no, it's Mixed Business, and Man Spider is nothing if not mixed business. So yeah, it felt fitting.
What about you, Lauren? Regina.
This is one that was less literal. Back of a Truck, one of her early ones, is absolutely gorgeous. If you haven't listened to old Regina, and much less produced and very much carried by her voice. Back of a Truck it's very fragmented and chaotic, and there's a section where she's talking about there's roadway maps selling the back of a head. Hey, how much for that back of a head, man? Hey, wait a minute. That's my back of a head. Hey, you can't sell that, man. That's my back of a head. And so there's this, whole stanza about it. That's mine. Sell it back to me, man. Which very much to me fit Man Spider, who is Peter Parker losing control to the feral spider inside. Losing his mind.
I can see that. That's a good pick. Okay. I went with a song, and hear me out on this. It's called Feel Sexy by Ro Capara, who maybe I'm mispronouncing, as I should put a disclaimer on any name that I pronounce. But I won't lie. So I first, I had to look up Man Spider because I'm actually more familiar with Boy Spider at the minute because I've been reading Dan Slott's Spider Boy series, which is it's if you have children that you want to read and share comics, it's one that's kind of like a fun for adults and kids type comic. I don't usually spend a recommend on it. It's at that level, but it definitely is if you are looking for a child friendly comic. Anyway, Spider Boy. There's a boy spider. So I had to look at Man Spider, and the first thing I thought when I saw the image of Man Spider, who I'd seen before, but it had been a while, was if the internet has taught me anything, some people out there want to do that. Into that. Because I used to be continually surprised by the internet, that there would be fandoms who are just into certain characters or types, and it's really, and now it's just no, all of it. So that should make everyone feel good. There's definitely, definitely there would be a fan base of people out into you, however you look, because literally anything. Anyway, so okay, there was that thought, but then also he's got the 6 arms, and it made me think of this song because there's line the only times that I feel sexy are when you put your arms around me and I've got all my clothes on, and that line is what made me think of his song because it's he's got all these arms, but also he's still half wearing the costume, I
got to listen to your playlist ahead of time, and that was something that just made me absolutely smile when I heard the line about hold you in your arms. I'm that's why she picked it.
Yeah, and he's got the whole, it's you think you're half a spider where you've got multiple limbs and you're still man, though I gotta cover up. It's just oh man, society and bad parenting really did a number on us, made us wear insecurity like a cloak. It's you're half a spider, just be free. Don't let go of the confines of cloth. I don't know. I just can't imagine fur under all that, spider fur. Buzz, whatever's on spiders. Okay. Anyway, so that's what I picked for Man Spider. I think it's perfect, to be honest. And then next up is inspired by Superior Spider-Man. And I picked Skull Crusher Mountain by Jonathan Colton because it's a song, from the perspective of a villain who is, enticed, if that were actually a synonym for kidnapping a young lady. He's trying to be I inserted all the right coins in the vending machine. Why don't you love me? It's that kind of energy. And Doc Ock is definitely kind of there. And Superior Spider-Man is a comic actually a lot of people have read, I found. It's the one comic they read or it gets recommended. It is good. It's actually done. It actually is by Dan Slott, right? And the whole idea is that's right, Otto Octavius taking over Peter Parker's body, but he wants to be a better Spider-Man, a superior Spider-Man. He just kind of, but he has that the what is villainy, but caring more about results than methods, I wanted to point out, this is the emblematic of the whole song, as he said, I made this half pony, half monkey monster to please you, but I get the feeling that you don't like it. What's with all this screaming? You like monkeys? You like ponies? Maybe you don't like monsters so much. Maybe I used too many monkeys? Is it enough to know that I ruined a pony making a gift for you? That's, a line. So it's pretty good. Totally recommend giving it a listen. It's jam. That's what I picked. I felt like it fit the vibes. Superior Spider-Man. Lauren, please tell us.
I went with Machine. It's kind of straightforward. It's one that is high on logic and low on emotion. Kind of about the superiority of the singer, the protagonist, because of being part machine and part organic. And so maybe it's a little surface level for Otto, but that one seemed like an obvious fit for me.
Okay. I didn't get to listen to this one yet. I'm not as familiar with this one.
Ben?
Well, I'm a fan of the Superior Spider-Man. I read a volume of that. And what I went with was Anything You Can Do from Annie Get Your Gun, the Bernadette Peters version. Because that is sort of the premise. He's like, anything you can do, I can do better. And my philosophy was nothing is too on the nose. So that's what I did.
Okay. The next one up in my list was Ezekiel Sims. This was I had to Google him. Right, pick the song again. Tell us what you picked, please, Ben.
For Ezekiel Sims, I've been playing a lot of Ezekiel Sims, and either in my head or sometimes out loud. Not so much because I don't have my regular voice. I don't have all the tools that I'm used to. But here's what I think is fun to do. You play Ezekiel Sims, and maybe this is the turn after you played it. Honestly, you can do this several times a game if you want. But you play Ezekiel Sims last turn. Now you play a larger thing. You hit the end turn button. The animations start, and you say, "Ah!" And then when your big thing flips over, you say, "Zeke out!" And that's right. The song is "Le Freak" by Chic. So you just you say, instead of saying "freak out," you say "Zeke out," and then he moves away.
Yeah, I forgot that
Nile Rodgers is one of my guitar heroes. Anywho, what were you saying, Lauren?
When we were talking about Ezekiel earlier, as the card of the week, I forgot to mention that when you brought up his theme before, where he if there's a threat that's too big for him to fight, he's just gonna run away from it, And I was I was feeling that so much when I was playing Ezekiel. I was like, oh, this is very thematic and good. So I was glad that you pointed that out.
Oh,
grace us with the Regina.
They did a good job on that one. In that way, I credit where credit is due. Good for second dinner.
I was very happy to fit in a lot of my favorites, and so this is another one. This is one I love playing on the piano. Après-moi. It rocks in English, French, and Russian in the same song. Is very heavy and it feels grand and apocalyptic and mystical, and so just prophetic. It felt like it fit Zeke's vibes. I've got to say, some of these characters I don't know very well, so kind of surface level research to know, and I may totally miss their personalities.
Okay. Sometimes it's vibes. I picked a song that I thought of for Ezekiel Sims, and it's the first Placebo song I ever heard. It's called Nancy Boy. Someone put it on a playlist for me, way back in the day, and I've always loved it. And it feels like a good spider song. It's bopping, it's spin me around, and Nancy Boy. And he talks about someone out for himself, kind of like Ezekiel Sims, but ultimately, I guess he supposedly sacrificed himself for Peter. So still a good dude, and it's just another Nancy Boy. So I went pretty, like, it was pretty cemented for me. Like, yes, this is the one. Locked it in. And the same with the next one. It was sad because it was one I almost wanted to agonize. I had all these, like, ideas for Spider-Man Noir, of course, because I'm like, let me just make could have made a whole playlist for a lot of these characters, but also Spider-Man Noir. But I had to do the on the nose thing. I did a remix of Paint It Black. It's by, like, Say Maxwell, I guess. And it's just like an instrumental. And I can totally picture Spider-Man Noir fighting. And it's going to be like one of those long one take fights. Okay. So, like, epic moments, we think of, like, Captain America in the elevator, right? You think of hallway fights, think of, like, Daredevil, the television show, like the early big long hallway fights. But for me, the OG fight of that style of closed in space, at least the appearance of one take, was the old, it's like 2003, I think, film Old Boy, a Korean horror film.
Yeah,
right? That there's that scene, and then when you saw that, it's like that's the OG scene of a long take of a fight. The fight one can only do when one has been locked in a room for many, many years and had nothing to do but push-ups and imaginary fights. Yeah, it's messed up though. So, like, if you're gonna watch it, like, be in for that, okay? Just, I don't want to spoil it for you, but, like, woo! Okay, so, yeah.
You said
so
Noir,
that's what
right?
For Spider-Man Noir, so it'd be like, yeah, for him, it would obviously need to be outside because it needs to be in the rain, obviously, for Spider-Man Noir, but, like, closed and tight in the city streets. And every time I do it, I'm just, like, visualizing this fight scene in my head. It just fits so well. I think they updated when I came back and I'm like, oh, did they change the art in this picture? They changed it. It looks like look sort of like Wednesday Addams from the TV show, because she plays the cello. She plays a rendition of Paint It Black. It's very awesome and epic. So I went to look up, I'm like, is this the one that played in the show? I guess I should mention if it is, but no, I think they're just, like, on the hype train. Okay. What did you pick, Lauren?
I picked my literal favorite Spectre song, Prisoners. I think she actually has a lot of songs that have some lonely vibes, which I think fit with Noir. But this one it is tired and lonely, but also there's this, like, resolve. And so it vibes. That's how I picked it. That's
the ultimate for playlist. Ben, what did you pick?
I picked for Spider-Man Noir You Want It Darker by Leonard Cohen from it's the eponymous single from that album. The title track, you might even say. That album came out 17 days before Leonard Cohen's death. So, like, really just sort of a final statement. And it's a good song, good vibe, very dark. That's what I ended up with after shuffling away the Nazi punks fuck off, because it was a little too punk. And the tracks go where they're needed on my playlists. That's what I say.
I approve. All right, give us your Prowler as well. It's the next one.
For this one, there was another. I had a song that I thought about giving to the Prowler, but I shuffled it elsewhere where it felt more appropriate. And I was thinking about the Prowler, and I was like, what's there to say about the Prowler? I was looking at his toys. One of them, vibro shock gauntlets. I mean, that's a shocker thing anyway. But I was just like, well, let's go on the nose, and I went with Good Vibrations, not the Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch one, but the Beach Boys. That Good Vibrations, as in she's giving me the excitations, and it's a real good song, classic for a reason.
Okay.
Hey, Prowler, I went with Open, which is it's vibes in some ways. It's kind of claustrophobic, but also about waiting, which feels like, sort of like a hunter, a stalker to me. And most of all, there's this tension in it. Potentially lovely, perpetually human. And that to me feels very Prowler, where he's, pulled between his life of crime, but also his family. Specifically, Uncle Aaron Prowler, right? My understanding.
Not Hobie Brown Prowler.
Hobie Brown or Aaron Davis.
Confusion. Yeah.
The two different Prowlers. Okay. For me, I went with Ready to Win by Tokyo Police Club. Song about fucking up, which feels like that fits both the Prowlers. They're both people who picked the wrong side, ultimately usually choosing to go straight, join the hero side. And this song is about fucking up all this stuff, but it's ultimately triumphant. It's about being ready to win. And it's I feel like there's so much music out there that it's easy to find if you just want to feel bad. Everything's bad. And I like the kind of, and how this song builds into a guitar catharsis that matches kind of
a guitarsis.
Yeah. Exactly. You gotta love it. Guitarsis. Okay. So that was my Prowler, and then Web Sling was a fun one, and I knew pretty much right away. And it's, for me, what I thought about with Web Sling is how it's okay. I am a huge fan. It is known. My first tattoo ever was the Batman symbol. I've also long been a fan of Daredevil. So it's established that I am a creature of the night. And, a lot of their kind of openings are going out into the city that's coming alive at night. But the spiders, all of them, their vibe is more the city waking up, New York in the morning, the sun coming in, right? Pigeons are around, street vendors are just getting set up. You're swinging through the city. And that's the song. It's called Lights Up, the whole city coming up, And it even, there's this point in it, I can totally picture them swinging around, where there's little sirens in the background. There's a little phone conversation. You can just totally picture, the vibes of the spider. And I love that. I love that, I hadn't really thought about that until I thought about this song, how much the spiders are kind of that dawn and coming alive, and also feeding into their whole themes as because say the Bat family, right? They come from many, the struggles are that they're more into the other thing than they're into their humanity, and also other things. But spiders are always so connected to the human struggle of gotta pay my rent, gotta get to somewhere in time, gotta stop disappointing all my relatives, they're so connected into that, and it's that's vibes. Anyway. So I loved the song for this. So I was pretty fast that I chose it, stuck with it. Lauren, what was your web sling?
For web sling, I went with Buildings, which is a song about a strained relationship in a married couple. That's not why I picked it. I picked it because they sing.
Definition of swing. I didn't even think about it.
That's not even what I was talking about. Anyway, it very literally talks about tall buildings, right? That's the means for your web swinging around, is the buildings. And also musically, it sounds very much like soaring through the air. So that's why I picked it.
Yeah. Ben, what'd you pick for web sling?
Well, for web sling, I knew that one of these cards had to be this song, and this seemed like the obvious choice. I went with I Miss You by Blink-182. I'm really upset that I'm sick this week because I have, not to toot my own horn, but I have a fantastic Tom DeLonge impression that, like all the best impressions, is like 2/3 accurate and 1/3 speaking to some greater, deeper truth that like is more important than accuracy to like replicating, the stuff. Anyway, a good impression is an interesting thing. But anyway, I guess I'll try anyway. And as I stared, I counted webs from all the spiders, catching fiends and eating their insides, like indecision to call you and hear your voice of treason. Will you come home and stop these pain tonight? Stop these pain tonight. So yeah, and as I stared, I counted the webs from all the spiders. Yeah. That's a
absolutely
pretty silly song, folks.
Perfect.
Pretty silly song. That's my opinion. Always has been my opinion.
I kind of like it.
I did used to play a cover of it because I like silly songs.
Hell yeah. What's the next card?
Sorry, yeah, that was too good. I was trapped in the moment. Okay. Who is? Oh no. 8. Chameleon. Who's your chameleon, Ben?
Oh, for this one, it took me some time to arrive at this one, but I picked the best song for this one, and that is Beneath the Mask from Persona 5. I went with the Rain version. In case you don't know which one Beneath the Mask is, it's the one that's like, I'm a shapeshifter at Post Masquerade, hiding both face and mind, all free for you to draw. I'm a shapeshifter, what else should I be? Please don't take off my mask, revealing dark. And
now I know what song you're talking about.
Yeah.
I never picked out the lyrics before.
Yeah. So, Persona 5, folks. It's it's got some really good songs. I don't know what to tell you about. But yeah, it's a good song. I feel like everybody knows that's like kind of one of the best ones in the game, and that's my opinion. I feel like I'm not the only person who feels that. But that song, that game has a lot of very good music in it. Also, man, that Metaphor Refantasia, I still haven't played it myself, but all the music is still stuck in my head. My spouse has been replaying it this week while we're both sick, and just been hearing the tunes. Man,
that
so one that's all like
are you taking a feeding the horse?
Yeah,
talking to villagers.
I have a version of it where it's all just the nicknames for my current cat. But I won't. But yeah, I just say his nickname over and over. Or variations on it, and make all the syllables line up, and it's too much fun. But yeah, that Shoji Meguro, or I think there were some collaborators, especially on the Metaphor Refantasio one. So I don't know if all my favorite Metaphor Refantasio tracks are. Anywho, that's beside the point. Yeah.
All right.
So that's what I had.
You may think, based on titles alone, if you know a lot of Regina Spektor songs, that I went with Man of 1,000 Faces. Seems like a really good fit.
Oh, yeah.
No. I went with Edit.
It does seem like a really good fit, yes.
Yeah, but then like when it came down to like the vibe of the music and like the lyrics, I didn't think it was as good of a fit as Edit, which felt to me more like losing your identity because it's shifting constantly. No stability in your own identity, which I don't actually know Chameleon that well, but from like surface level research, that felt like a better fit.
Yeah, I approve. I also was like, man, I know I've read Chameleon probably like a ton, but he's always been one of those like B villains that's never like stuck out because he's never had his own cool enough storyline or shtick or whatever. So I did have to Google him, and one, like, I'm like, he seems sad, and two, he does like to present well. Like, dressed up in that little vest. I kind of honestly immediately imagined him being the villain for Spider-Man Noir in this imaginary, like, animated thing I was making in my head. And because, he looks like he could fit with his, like, vest and, like, pinstripe and all the stuff that he does. And so I picked a song called Ava Gardner by Supernova. And one, it pairs nicely because, like, the lyrics are like, you'll be my Frank Sinatra and be your Ava Gardner. And it's like, well, that's Chameleon's ability, you gotta pair him with another card. And then, B, it was like kind of the old timey vibes. And I won't lie, a lot of it was like, I also felt like in the playlist, it was a good time to have a more mellow song. Because the next thing up is Deafening Chord, which we all picked like something. There were contenders for sure for Deafening Chord, but I had to go with my very first impulse and like refuse to doubt it. Like even Watson, a song I haven't even listened to in years. I immediately thought of the song "Free the Bee" by Melt Banana. It is so good for Deafening Chord. I love it. It's one that you can jam out. Literally the only lyrics I think I know, like, that I can pick out are like "Free the bee, free the bee." Okay, you're screaming it. It's great. Promise anyone that listens to it, because it has a long opening that you listen all the way to at least till you hear the first "Free the bee." But it starts and it's got kind of this like choral, and then these like kind of like sirens kick in, and then eventually it's like guitars, and then it's like builds, and it's just to me it was the perfect Deafening Chord song. That's what I went with. Lauren.
Yeah. I think when I was listening, something that's fun about this challenge is like knowing the context around it. When I was listening to your playlist, I was like, this is for this character, right? Like, for sure. And then I went and looked at your list, and yeah, of course it was. It felt like it was pretty easy to pick out. And yeah, this one was very obviously Deafening Chord. It is noisy. I went with Your Honor, which is by far the hardest Regina Spektor song. One of the only ones that's using electric guitar. It's just kind of rage-filled and full of energy.
Rage-filled and full of energy. Well, what I went with for Deafening Chord, I feel like this one works on every level, just all of them. This freestanding, the nerve on this one, just the gall of Deafening Chord. I get mad whenever I see the autonomous delivery robot. I get mad whenever I see the self-driving vehicle from San Francisco. That's right. The song is Autonomous Delivery Robot by Grandson. It's a fucking banger. Oh my gosh. Just a really good song.
I heard it.
I don't know why every song in 2025 is not Autonomous Delivery Robot. It's a really good song. It's a really, really good. If you only check, and it's not the sort of, it doesn't sound like most of the music that I gravitate towards, but I strongly recommend y'all check out Autonomous Delivery Robot by Grandson. You can watch the music video, listen to the audio, whatever. It's a banger and a bop, and it's like it's not just about the autonomous delivery robots. It's they're sort of
threatening.
synecdoche, I think is the literary device I think we're working with here. They're just like one part of the thing, but they're a stand-in for the whole thing. But anywho, yeah. I feel the same way about Deafening Chord, the freestanding skill card that's too good and bullshit and has no personality and is not a character, and in fact sort of supplants and supersedes the character that should be associated with it. And check out the song. That's how I feel about Deafening Chord.
Hydromanus.
For Hydroman, wow! I guess I got all the harder ones in here at the end. I don't listen to all the most hard music, but for Hydroman, there were a lot of options because really, it just had to be sort of wet, right?
Yeah.
So what I went with for Hydroman was "I Sat by the Ocean" by Queens of the Stone Age from the album Like Clockwork. It's a great album, my favorite of theirs, and a great song. Let me see if I got a funny Josh Homme impression. I sat by the ocean and drank a potion, baby, to erase you. Face down in the boulevard, yeah, I couldn't face you. I don't know. I'm too sick. But speaking of sick, the fucking guitars in that song. Oh yeah. I wanna. Y'all know the ones. Maybe you don't know the ones. Fucking banger of a song, banger of an album, runner-up choice for the same card from the same album. Oh, why not Smooth Sailing? Oh wait, I already put that on my other playlist, so that's why it couldn't have been Smooth Sailing. It had to be I Sat by the Ocean. Great album. Great. Check it out.
I went with Folding Chair, which is also about sitting by the ocean. It's that one's I know that one. That Regina sector. That's a good Regina. So I like that one. She's waiting for the salty water to cover up her ears, but also there's like, I don't know, 2 or 3 times in the song where she's ooh, and when she's doing it the first few times it's nice oohs, but then on the last one she is punching them like they're dolphin sounds, and it's delightful.
Fine. I haven't heard it. I'll have to listen. Okay,
go ahead.
I did, like, once again, this is just too easy. I did like briefly look up Hydroman, who I'm not super familiar with.
Morris Bench.
But it's like, it's going to be a water thing. And you all are just so lucky. This is where I refuse the obvious. It's like Ocean Man by Ween is like right there. And I went to look up Hydroman Sing, and it's like, oh, there was an accident in the ocean. I'm like, it's just calling for ocean. But I feel like if people have heard Ween, that's like the one Ween song they've heard. So I didn't like want to put it on. So instead I put a song probably no one's heard of, called Water Slide by Auto Magic. And it's, it talks about, it's good for a villain because it's like, hey, like, killing everyone is easy. Doing all the bad things is easy. But I just want to get on my water slide and go back to a time in my life that was easier. Although, like, what I did think about this was like, oh man, the kids who like made this song were like at oldest in their earliest 20s. And whenever you like go back, you want to be like, how much life have you really lived to have all this nostalgia for your former time? And it's like, well, even kids have nostalgia. And it's like, it's almost true. Kind of false, right? Yeah. Because it's like, would you ever, like, there are a lot of times you wouldn't actually want to go back in time. Like, maybe there's a thing you liked about that time, but it's like, do you ever really want to go back into a time to like know less than you know now, to like all of this stuff. Anyway, it's just like I got really into the like philosophy. So I was choosing it for a water theme song for Hydro Band. Okay, then we get into our bonus songs. You know, the fun Lady Spider variants that they had. And like, I almost did a mini like Lauren challenge, and because like, I was like, the underscores have 3 songs that could like line up here, but I did end up there's some other songs that were too perfect. Also, I think it was funny, you had so many songs from that album on there, but like you didn't have Fidelity, which, you know, okay, maybe didn't line up, but it's like, that's the one I know best. That was always like my like,
that's like the single, yeah.
Right? It's like, yeah, okay. Yeah, and it didn't like super line up with anything, but it was like when I was younger and you had your like karaoke fantasy where you're like, what if I got up and sang a song and it was like really good and everyone was surprised. And for me, it was always like Fidelity. It's like for some reason what I was going to say.
That's a hard one.
Okay. Yeah, you know, everyone be super impressed. Okay, I also can't sing, so like there's that. Okay, first up is Ghost Spider, and I am so grateful to this challenge that I gifted my future self. Thank you, Pastry. Because I love this song called I Can't Get My Shit Together, which if you've heard me talk about Spider-Gwen, you know obviously is what I picked for Spider-Gwen. It's by Baby Queen, and it's such a fun song to listen to and jam out to, but it was just like kept getting too personal to me, because it's like, but it's not about me though, right? Like I've got my shit together, right? And it was just like, it's just tuned my head every time I was listening to it, and now I can listen to it freely because I'm like, it's about Gwen. It's just like not about me. For some reason that fixed it in my head. So it's a really fun song to rock out to add to your like chores rave party list. And you know, that's all I have to say. Obviously the title speaks for itself and why I think it relates to Spider-Gwen. Lauren, what did you pick for Ghost Spider?
I love the gift you gave yourself. I picked That Time, which as far as I can think, maybe there's some like concert exclusives or something, but as far as I can think, this is the only other Regina Spektor song that's electric guitars. And so, you know, that fits Gwen, who's in a band. And also it's very much about not having your shit together, and more in a nostalgic way. And I think that's something that anybody could relate to.
Yeah. Reals. That's the Spiders. They're relatable, right? First and foremost. Okay, Ben, who did you pick?
I don't know. This one was extra credit, and
okay, it's okay if you didn't.
It's been a week. I'm sorry. I'll have one for her next week. I tried. I wasn't coming up with anything.
Oh no,
really
you're just.
And
it's extra credit.
Yeah, it's extra credit.
Most of my picks have been direct hits by my own judgment anyway, and I just none of my ideas were quite meeting my standards. So it's good to meet the standards, and it's okay to not do it every week. We here are, we want to live in the world that doesn't demand sick people.
We're compassionate.
Produce,
but these final 3 are extra credit, right?
Yes, they are. Okay. So you've completed the assignment. You did the first 10, you're good. Fulfilled. Okay, so then, Lauren, then drop us your silk.
Okay, my silk is Ne Me Quitte Pas. This is one that she has on 2 separate albums that and of course they're both lovely, but I don't know. More modern Regina is much more produced, and I'm picking specifically the poppy one from what we saw from the Cheap Seats. It has a lot of energy and brightness, which I think kind of fits silk, but also Ne Me Quitte Pas literally means don't leave me. And so I feel like, and I don't know, you will have to tell me, but I feel like she must have some of that anxiety, social anxiety after being in a bunker for 10 years.
Yeah. That's where I went with it too. I had I picked Antisocialite by the Foxies. It's a really fun one, obviously. Self-title makes sense for Silk, but also talks about like, hey, I'm sipping a Capri Sun to feel the nostalgia, and that's like Silk's whole deal. She gets out of the bunker, all of her references are like out of date, and it's like that's one reason. Oh man, we had a commenter a few weeks. I don't know if they even still listen to our podcast, say that like I was overly fixated on Gwen, and it's like it has stayed with me ever since. And I realized it's true. Silk was always like my first spider love. I'm like, oh, like Spider-Man, but it's a woman like me. Women can be spider people too. And like I've had her first appearance. I've gotten pretty much all of her runs, and I realized like, oh, I am like fixated on. and Gwen Stacy now. Okay. And then I felt bad. I felt like I was like, I don't know, like Silk and I used to be friendship with Silk over. My best friend is Ghost Spider now. And like Silk doesn't deserve that. And I loved that feeling. I felt like the way I grew up and the way I was sheltered was like being stuck away in a bunker. When I got out, like I said, there was so much music. That's why it's like Melt Banana was given to me on a playlist exchange. It's one reason I love doing it. It's where I got to like finally listen to good music. And a lot of and I've said before, like we were a bit poor. Like a lot of my toys came from garage sales, and they were outdated for my time and for my age. So like my references were like older than myself in a lot of ways, but also weird gaps. So I relate to that with Silk. And I think I didn't say the whole lead up to this was like there are lyrics in the song that are like, oh, and I'm sipping on Capri Sun to feel the nostalgia, and it just felt like it felt perfect for Silk. Okay. Last up is Black Cat, and I
have one for Silk.
You got a Silk one? Go for it then.
Yep. I picked Oakland Nights from the Unauthorized Bash Brothers Experience. This is it's like the Lonely Island's Lemonade about the Bash Brothers, Jose and Mark, the baseballmans, Canseco and McGuire, respectively. And this track features Sia, and the chorus is silk robes and kimonos. Silk robes and kimonos. Change out of your own clothes these athletic days, but oh, those Oakland nights. And that's just the beginning of the chorus. There's a little more chorus. They go once more around the paddock. But I prefer to be highly literal whenever possible. So that was just the first song that I could think of. I appreciate it. Referred to Silk. And I highly recommend. It's a very short. It's like less than half an hour, I think, or maybe about half an hour. I would watch it. It's very funny. I enjoyed it, and I don't even like sports things, so it's on Netflix.
Okay,
it's weird as hell. Mark Diva directed it, I think. And end of entry.
Yeah, no, I had to check it out. Okay, I had not heard
Mike Diva. I don't know, somebody Diva. I don't remember things.
Okay, for Black Cat, who is the last one, I won't lie, there's a couple other ones I might have picked for if this wasn't like the last album on the track, and I also wanted like a bookend banger, but this one also fits it. It's Locals / Girls Like Us by the Underscores with Gabby Start. And it's such a good, it's one of those that has a build up that like changes, that's kind of slow, but it builds into such a jam where at the end, screaming like girls like us, like stop me if you've heard this one before. Girls like us are rotten to the core. And it feels like that like Black Cat like defiance of like, I don't care what you say about me. I don't care what you call me. You know what I mean? Like, I know who I am. And I also like that it's called Locals because I do feel like that's like a Spider thing, is like they're so like tied in to like often to like New York, into like like making the big city into the small, like you see this in all the Spider-Man films. Like think back to like Tobey Maguire when like they have all the villagers stand up and like, I don't know, like be like, I'm Spider-Man, or, you know, all the various scenes they have.
Go through me, New York.
Right, but it's making neighbor, you know, your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, your locals. That's what it's about. It's the big city, but it's still a neighborhood. And so, like, I just loved all, and you know, and Black Cat's part of that. She's just Spider Family, like that's just, she's just firmly. I mean, she shows up in other things, but she's Spider, you know. So, so that's why it's like a super banger, to be honest. So, like, that's what I closed it out on. Give us our final Regina of the evening, Lauren.
It's All the Rowboats, which is also what we saw from the Cheap Seats, the newest album represented here, because I haven't even listened to her newest 2 or 3. It's a museum heist, you know? So it's perhaps a more literal connection also, but it's tense and elegant and about you know, escaping from glass cases.
Okay. I love that because like it is. I like the on the nose ones too. I really enjoyed. I mean, I gave this, but like, thank you for humoring me. I do love making playlists.
I also have one for Black Cat.
Oh, you do? Go for it, Ben.
Oh,
you missed 1 out of the 3 extra credits.
Yeah, I just couldn't sound
like you had like missed out on all of them, so I was trying to not like.
I like to be thorough, and I felt bad that I hadn't got one, you know, nailed down for.
It's actually perfect for Ghost Spider because she doesn't have her shit together. So like the fact that she didn't show up prepared with the song is perfectly Gwen Stacy and this iteration. Okay, so go ahead with your Black Cat.
For Black Cat, it's a good thing you like them on the nose. You just said so. She's into superstitions, black cats, and voodoo dolls. I feel a premonition. That girl's gonna make me fall. That's right. Livin' La Vida Loca by Ricky Martin. First song I thought of involving black cats. Fucking iconic. It's a banger. It's a bop. Also, you know, speaking of Ricky Martin, I was catching up on Palm Royale. I think the second season has started. But you know, it's on Apple TV. No longer Plus. Now it's just Apple TV, and now they've got a little hint of Claire de Lune. That's their new.
Oh, there's just straight grades now.
But Ricky Martin's pretty good on Palm Royale. It's a real B+ television show. I think I heard some early reviews or read some early reviews that were like kind of mid on it. I mean, I'll hit you with the premise. What does Wikipedia say it's about?
I mean, like just paraphrased. I mean, just like I've not heard of it.
Well, it's a period piece. It's set in 1969. Kristen Wiig. How about I just tell you about the cast? The cast is fucking phenomenal. We got Kristen Wiig, we got Ricky Martin, we got who else do I like? Oh, Leslie.
I didn't know he acted, to be honest.
Yeah, I didn't either. I was like, who is this guy? He looks kind of familiar. And then you know, I was like, oh, that's Ricky Martin. And yeah, he's great on it. Honestly, like it's fun. It's fun. It's fun television. It look like it's a good looking show, and the cast is great, and like the writing is fun enough, and like it doesn't have to be perfect. Sometimes can we just let the girls have fun sometimes? But anyway, we got Kristen Wiig, Ricky Martin, Leslie Bibb, Laura Dern. Everybody likes Laura Dern. Don't you want to hang out with Laura Dern? I sure as shit do. Allison Janney. Oh man, Carol Burnett. It's I check out Palm Royale. It's I'm having fun with it. I'm at least 4 or 5 episodes in, and I'm having a great time. And that's my Ricky Martin minute for you. Did you have any closing remarks that I rudely interrupted? What was going on there?
No, I just like. I enjoyed this, and while I was looking through songs, I thought of lots of other songs for other characters. I wanted to do. I'm like, that's what tore me away from picking some songs. I'm like, no, I'll save this for this character. So maybe again one day. But no, go for it. You're assigning our next week's homework, Ben. What you got for us?
That's right. All right. Well, a frequent topic of discussion among people on this call, and also just people who like card games and things in general. It's come to my attention that, also it's probably come to the listeners' attention because we talked about it like last week, but Lauren has not really played Slay the Spire, not properly. And also, okay, so I went looking. I was like, what? Because I was aware that there were mods and things for Slay the Spire, but I was making big promises to Ree, like, though. There'll be.
I only have it for Switch.
Oh, well, then that's an obstacle. All right, because I did go looking at these mods, and I myself, I wasn't all that interested. I was mostly looking for you, Ree, to be honest. I didn't realize you only had it on Switch. But I was like, I'm not interested in this because I trust the game designers and I like the vanilla starting decks. And I think that a lot of the beauty of the game is deciding how much of a hurry you are to shed that chrysalis. And, point is, I learned that there's a mod that lets you play co-op Slay the Spire with multiple people where they all line up on one side of the screen like a fucking Final Fantasy party. Your however many characters, and I was like, oh, that's so cool. We got to get Lauren playing Slay the Spire, and then we all have to party up and do a trio run. But if you don't have it on PC, then that's fine. Just play some Slay the Spire. That's the secret homework. Play some Slay the Spire so we can talk a little bit about it.
It'll be perfect.
That's also homework for the listeners. If you have not played Slay the Spire, but you like card games and things, I bet you'll like Slay the Spire. It's a really good game, fun game, lots of charm. It's one of these games where like it's like those FromSofts where like, oh, there's a lot of lore if you read all the things, but also you don't have to pay attention to it if you don't want to. And I appreciate the lore in that, like, I read things, but I don't try too hard to. I don't have enough red string to put together all the secrets of the Spire, but it's a great game, and you will enjoy the time you spend with it. Is my theory.
It's iconic. It created its own like genre, right? Basically, there's a bunch of Slay the Spire little like mini clones that have popped up. I have tried a couple of them, and it's interesting.
You fuck with Inscription?
No, not yet. I did buy it because it was on sale, and I downloaded it, and I need to play it. Okay.
Wait, Lauren, you played Inscription, but you haven't played Slay the Spire? That's correct. That is the most backwards thing in the world. That game is like in conversation with Slay the Spire more so than a lot of other things that it's. I mean, that game is in conversation with a lot of games.
Absolutely fucking loved Inscription.
Yeah, you got to play Slay the Spire. That's my feeling.
So
and that goes for the listeners. I bet our listeners would also love Slay the Spire if they haven't already. But also, if you don't want to spend the money, then just I don't know, play some other game that you like. Maybe some other game with cards. It's good to get around with the cards and things. To play other card games makes you better at the first card game. It's just you understand how things fit together better. That's my feeling.
Okay, great. Well, listener, viewer, if you liked what you heard and you haven't already, like and subscribe, rate and review on iTunes or Spotify, leave us a comment on YouTube or Spotify, or come hang out with us in the Speakeasy. It's our little corner of Discord. It's not even a full server. It's just part of the Snap Judgments League One. There are instructions on how to find our handful of channels in the show notes or video description. Or, DM me. I'll help you. It's fine. We're proudly part of the Snap Judgments Network, where you can listen to other great shows like the titular Grand Pod Eponymous. I don't know how to say that word that you used earlier. Eponymous. I said it right the first time.
You sure? We got there.
Makes me think of Link. Okay.
That's a different word. Epona.
Eponymous.
Okay. I don't want to breed privacy or anything like that, but at my child's school years ago, like, I don't know, two or three schools ago, there was somebody who drove a hybrid, or maybe it was even electric, Mustang, and their license plate was EV Pona, which I always very much appreciated, the combination of EV and Pona. Anyway.
I fully appreciate.
I enjoyed that joke every single time I picked up my child from the parking lot. Anyway, listen to Snap Judgments. It's good. It's got Pulse, Glazer, and Roy, and comes out on Saturdays, ? I don't know. Pulse moved to Vietnam. I don't know what his schedule's like these days. If you want to listen next week, and you should, tune in. Same Snap time, same Snap channel.
Okay.
I
know, it was long. I do have a short random topic for discussion unless someone already had an outro.
I do not.
Okay. I was thinking earlier this week, so originally, and hopefully we didn't answer this at some point and I've already forgotten, but it was like, the default answer, it's like, obviously, if actually given the opportunity for real, I would take a long and extended time to think about it. But my default answer to what superpower, just off the top of my head, because I can't get locked in analysis paralysis over such an important decision, would be the power of flight. Because I have long trained myself to fly in my dreams, and it mostly works. Sometimes it's more like a big hop, more like a Jessica Jones style jump. But if you work very hard, you can train yourself to fly in your dreams, and it's amazing. And it's probably the only time you get to fly in a non-scary situation. So highly recommend. But this week, in a conversation with Lauren, I realized if I was a shapeshifter, then I could turn into GIFs in response to people. I was looking for that husky doing the face in response. And it's the GIFs are the enshittification of everything has made it harder for me to find the GIFs I want to express the feelings that are within my heart. And I was just it would be so good if I was a shapeshifter, like Amethyst from Steven Universe, or any shapeshifter, and I could just immediately form the perfect GIF for any moment. And I'm this is a big contender because I would love to fly, but I would shapeshift into GIFs so much. It's when people ask me what my real hair color was, it's who am I really? You don't know. I'm into some random meme at any moment. Okay, so tell me, please, give me a power selection. It doesn't have to be your number one choice. It just has to be fun.
I mean, off the cuff, it's time control, because I could always do it for more time.
Oh yeah.
Or shape-shifting, which I think is probably a very common answer among trans people.
Reasonable.
That'd be cool. I think either of those, there's fun things you could do with those. Also, ways you could abuse those powers. But I'd like to think that I'd be, I would not give
isn't that all power though?
Yeah, right.
Well, I think maybe we've actually talked about this on the podcast before, because I think I've already said this answer. But
okay, sorry.
I think
sounded vaguely familiar.
The good ones, like Lauren, you mentioned a time thing, and I don't know. Time is very complicated and stuff, but I think the good ones are basically super speed or teleportation. Those are the practical ones. But also, the third one that I think would be pretty fantastic is just healing. If you had supernatural powers of healing, that would be pretty cool. And I think I could probably stomach the great responsibility of such a great power, if it, because you'd get to do so much good. And those are the three really good ones.
You shouldn't pick super speed though. The Flashes always end up as sacrifices.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't be doing any fucking superheroing with it. I would just be living my best, most efficient life and getting things done.
Clean the house in an hour.
Yeah. I would just adult harder.
No, like that's the thing. Those like I just want the practical ones: the teleportation, the super speed, the healing. I don't.
You're right. That'd be so useful.
I'm not trying to have fun. You know what's fun? Like fulfilling all your obligations.
You should try to have fun.
Having time for leisure and stuff.
Some of them are like teleportation. Yeah, practical to not have to like commute or like, I don't know, it'd be fun to go visit my sister in Chicago on a whim. But also like you could make a lot of money with the ability to teleport, and then
you sure could. But I'm
not even illegally. You could just be like a transport service. Like
no,
there's people who take.
Oh my god, you could be like the world's greatest process server. Oh my gosh. Wow. I'm just like, I would, and I'm not saying I want to be rich. I want to be able to spend my time making art instead of working.
Yeah. Reasonable.
Good combo.
Kind of a bummer for the end.
Yeah.
Why do we keep ending? We're like, here's all the fun stuff, and then here's why.
No, but
return to your dreary lives. It is the end of the podcast. There is no hope or salvation. Goodbye.
Dang.
Should be more of like a, that's all, folks. Like, you know.